Let me go to Atticus out of Dallas, Texas. Atticus, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yes, Jesse. I want to speak to you regarding this affirmative action thing.
Okay.
That you speak of.
Yes.
Okay. Well, when it comes to affirmative action, you say that blacks are not qualified.
Right.
That they only get into these schools because they're not. Are you saying they're not intelligent enough to get into school?
Right.
On their own merit?
Yes.
That's what you say.
Yes.
Okay. So, in the beginning, when these schools, are you saying this just now or since the beginning when these schools started, such as Princeton? Do you realize that there were black people that attended Princeton and actually graduated from Princeton before nowadays? Do you realize that?
Are you saying they got in before affirmative action existed?
Yeah, they got in before affirmative action existed.
Because back in those days, Atticus, black people were a noble people. They worked hard. They got married. They set good example. They bought land. And they didn't blame anyone for anything. They were able to overcome. But since the civil rights movement, blacks have not developed. They look to so-called black leaders to tell them how to think and what to do. They rely on the government to provide for them. The men are like black women in that they are emotional. They live in their imagination. They are angry. They become like their mamas, mothers. And so they are not capable today of doing it on their own. That's why they fight for reparations and affirmative action, and they try to take for the white man. Black people today is not the same people that they were prior to the civil rights movement.
Okay. I see that you're good at making all these assertions regarding black people, but you exclude yourself. You know, none of these things that you say regarding black people, you don't include yourself in those, though. Right?
And you know why, right?
No, I don't know why.
Because I'm
because
not.
You
I'm
think
not.
that you somewhat above, the average black person?
Yes.
Is that why?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I don't believe that the white man or anyone is superior to me. I believe that if I put the effort into it with a good attitude, there's nothing that I cannot do. I treat all people the same because I understand the battle is a spiritual battle, has nothing to do with color. And so I treat all people the same. And I have faith in God that all is well.
You don't treat all people the same, Jesse.
Yes, I do.
You don't at all. Okay.
Why you say I don't? What do you mean? Give me an example of not treating all people the same.
Let me give you this example. Now, you say that black people feel inferior.
Yes.
But when you say that blacks are not smart enough to get into schools, and they're taking the place of whites and Asians and all this and that, you're saying that black people are inferior.
Right.
They're not as intelligent.
Right.
Is that what you're saying? Black people have less intelligence than any other people?
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
But
may I tell you why?
You.
Am I wrong?
So now, let me ask you this. So does that include you?
No.
Are you less intelligent?
No, I'm black and slow,
people?
but not that black and slow.
You black and you the slowest, Jason. You really are.
Let me give you the proof.
You the slowest.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. I want to respond to what you said, and then I'll let you respond some more. I'm not going to hang up. If blacks didn't think that white people were superior to them, or if they felt that they could do it on their own, if they believe that, would they be begging for reparations and affirmative action?
Who, you asking me that?
No, I'm asking the moon.
Yeah. That's the thing that you always try to create these hypotheticals.
No, I'm asking you.
Right.
It's not a hypothetical. If they believe that they are as smart as the white man, would they be fighting for affirmative action reparations? Yes or no?
If was a fifth, you and I would be drunk.
No, if the frog didn't have a glass ass, he wouldn't have broken when he jumped either.
Yeah, yeah. So why are we talking about
Why can't
this?
you answer that?
Yeah, because you trying to make up a question to only make you right.
No, I'm asking if black people believe that they can do
a
it.
scenario.
If black people believe they can do it on their own, would they be begging for reparation or affirmative action?
Okay.
And you say?
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Hold on, Atticus. I want to go quickly back to Atticus out of Dallas, Texas. And I made the point that black, not all, but most, not all, but most black people believe that white people are superior to them. And the proof is in the pudding. In the last 70 years, at least since the civil rights movement and all that, most, not all black people have been focused on white people. They have been begging and blaming and not building but destroying. They have been begging for affirmative action and reparations because they want to get into the white schools. And unfortunately, a lot of the white schools, Princeton and others, have allowed them to get in without having to earn it, UCLA and others. And they have pushed aside white kids and Asian and Hispanic kids to let the blacks in because, slavery. And none of these blacks know anything about slavery, right? Affirmative action, Jim Crow. They don't even know the truth about Jim Crow. Systemic racism, police brutality. So the black, even the males too, they're begging. The males are begging like women. Now, men don't normally beg and blame. They normally overcome the issue. They deal with it, go right to it and deal with it. But the black men are just like their mothers, just like the women, they're begging and blaming. And they're not qualified to get into these schools. They're only there because of their skin color. And affirmative action and now reparation is the proof of that. Atticus is trying to disagree with me on this. And so I had to hold him over. I didn't have to, but I held him over from the last hour to finish that conversation. Atticus, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
So if the blacks don't believe that white people are superior to them and they believe they can do it themselves, why are they begging for affirmative action and reparations?
Nobody's begging for affirmative action or reparations. When it comes to affirmative action, that was put in place because before blacks were not admitted to these schools. Even when it came to Princeton, the first person that went to Princeton that was black that showed up once they realized he was admitted, but the first person, once they realized he was black when he showed up, they put him out. And when it comes to reparations, me personally, I think that for the stigma of what black people have to endure, because we're forever with people like you perpetuating the nonsense that black people hate white people, black people hate, this, they hate that. You put more into dividing races than actually uniting.
And am I doing that by speaking the truth of what's really happening? Am I divided by really pointing out what's going on?
Jesse, you are a ridiculous person.
Answer that question first before you go to the attacks. Am I divided by pointing out what's really going on? Are you saying that I'm dividing in that way?
Well, it's only going on in your mind.
So affirmative action is not real?
Jesse, when it comes to
answer that first. Atticus, I'm allowing you to speak.
Yeah.
So are you saying that affirmative action is not real?
It's real and it's necessary.
Okay, are you saying that? Hold on, Atticus.
I thought we were having a conversation.
I'll let you speak now. Atticus, I'll let you speak now. I'm doing follow-up.
Let's have a conversation.
I'm about to put you on hold if you don't shut up. So listen.
You tell anybody to shut up. I'm not your bitch. Nigga.
You act like my bitch.
No, you act like a bitch.
No, you act like my bitch. You're complaining.
No. See, that's where you're wrong. You
So
have more
Atticus,
female
Atticus,
spirits
come
than
back.
the average woman.
Atticus,
you know?
come back.
No,
So are you saying affirmative action is not real?
Did you not hear me? You
No.
got the ears the size of a satellite.
What did you
Why
say?
can't you hear? I already answered that question.
What
don't
was your
listen
answer?
when people talk to you? See, there we go. We
I'm
have
gonna
a
ask you one more
conversation,
time.
but you
What
don't
was
have
your
to
answer?
listen to me.
What was your
Your
answer?
ears as big as a satellite, and I told you.
Atticus, what was your answer?
Did you just hear me say yes?
Goodbye. I appreciate your call. You're refusing to discuss the truth. Beta!
Hang yourself, nigga.
Beta! See how violent he is? Violent. Because they can't handle the truth. Affirmative action is real. Black people have been begging and making white people give them affirmative action. Now they're begging and trying to make them give reparation. And then they try to make the white people let them into their businesses without earning their way. That's a weakness. And he mentioned some black guy who was thrown out of Princeton when they found out that he was black or something. And if somebody, my grandparents always told me, if you're not welcome in someone else's home, you wish them well. And you go and build your own home. They have a right not to want you there if they don't want you there. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not racism. That's not anything, but they don't want you at their house. Go build your own house. That's what the Jews did. When the Jews went through those thing with, what they call that thing? Holocaust? Yeah, the Holocaust. They built their own, everywhere they go, they build. And they take over. They ain't begging. They ain't blaming. Why don't black people do the same thing? If the white man can do it, you can do it. Black people used to know that. They knew that at one time, but they forgot when they gave their lives over to the black civil rights leader. Now, you heard this guy, Atticus, begging like a woman. And you mad at me because I won't go along with it. I ain't going along with that crap. I was trained differently. I had better examples than that in my life. Ain't no way in the hell I'm going down that road. I'm living in the greatest country in the world and have the greatest constitution in the world, and they're trying to change it. The Democrats are trying to change the Constitution. They're tearing down the statues and the monuments and the flags. Like that gonna make black people better. They're only making them worse. Black males, and white males too, but white males are scared, are following fat black radical lesbians. I'm outdone with that. I can hear my grandmother now. Lord have mercy. What didn't happen? I never thought I'd see a male follow a woman, period, but especially a black lesbian. What the? Who say that they're Marxists, who hate God, who hate the family, their nuclear family. They rather have a lesbian so-called family and pretend it's a family. Anyway, it's a spiritual battle, folks. Really. A warfare between good and evil. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.